Your AI bill just tripled. You probably haven't noticed yet. Gemini Flash quietly went 3 times more expensive at Google I/O this week. And the way Google did it tells us exactly what every other lab is about to do. Flash used to mean cheap and fast. The budget tier for high-volume work like translation, classification, and simple agent loops. Gemini 3 Flash Preview cost 50 cents per million input tokens and $3 per million output. Gemini 3.5 Flash launched at Google I/O this week. The new price, $1.50 input, $9 output. Exactly 3 times what the old Flash cost. Same product name, triple the bill. Google's pitch is that 3.5 Flash beats Gemini 3.1 Pro on almost every benchmark at 4 times the speed. If that holds, Flash just absorbed the Pro slot. Flash is the new Pro. But there is a bigger why. Google made Flash the engine of their new managed agents. A single agent interaction burns 100,000 to 3 million tokens. Flash is not the small tier price anymore. It is the agent price. Here is the cross-vendor map. 3 tiers. 3 vendors. Each row is a real price per million tokens. Notice where Gemini 3.5 Flash lands. Flash 3.5 output sits at $9 per million. That is almost twice Claude Haiku at $5. It is also less than Claude Sonnet at $15. So on output cost, Gemini's small-tier model is now closer to a mid-tier reasoning model than to its own name-mate, the old Flash. Zoom out. This is the full ladder across Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI. The cheap floor is now 20 cents. The top reasoning models are at $30, a 150 times spread. The whole pricing ladder shifted up this spring. Why this matters in production. A typical agent loop, 1,000 input tokens, 2,000 output, 10,000 calls a day. On the old Flash, that's around $65 per day. On Flash 3.5, the same workload is $195. 3 times the bill, same architecture. Google's cheap tier still exists. It's called Flash Lite, and it's been around since early 2025. What changed at I/O is the gap. Old Flash was twice as expensive as Lite. New Flash is 6 times more. The lineup didn't change. The distance between tiers tripled. This is not just a Google story. Across all 3 labs, the mid-tier climbed. Anthropic's Haiku 4.5 launched 25% above the previous version. OpenAI's Mini went from 15 cents to 75 cents across generations. But the floor stayed cheap. Tiers aren't uniformly rising. They're spreading apart. Gemini 3.5 Pro arrives next month. If Flash 3.5 absorbed the Pro slot, the new Pro likely moves into Sonnet and Opus territory. The real question, do the benchmarks hold up in production, or is this just a marketing slide? The bottom line, pricing pages are now the architecture. The model you picked this quarter is a different model from the one you picked last quarter, even with the same name. Subscribe now. The benchmark video drops next week.